Welcome, folks. This is a recap for tradepicks, January 26th, Monday, 2026. And yep, we got caught with a red bag today. Our chimp GPT wasn't able to get us a green day. And I'm just kidding on that, of course. The chimp GPT is the gorilla. And losing days like this are pretty normal, especially when you're trying to hit it big and not staying within your guidelines. So don't do it. Trading is risky business. And to that end, we have a new screenshot. We need to be aligned mentally and physically. I wasn't mentally aligned that Monday, and I recognize it. So make sure your cognitive, your mental is there, emotionally that you're there, you're committed to what you're doing, and that your physical state is good. And on the right hand side there you see universal stop loss. Get the F out. If you're bored, angry, tired, or you think you're chasing, don't be holding any bags. And in order to do that, we go through a pre-market prep. Your bio checks are important just as much as checking the gappers, tracing the daily resistance, observing price action so you know what's going to happen later on, checking the overall market. If you like my videos, like and subscribe, and we'll get more Gorilla Trader videos. My preferred setup, for me at least, is having a positive MACD, making sure that we have volume by checking the level 2, observing price action, which is obvious, and then using VWAP, either underneath or a crossover, and trying to avoid now the upper band of VWAP. So here's our trade journal. Sorry about the blue borders there, the video. But for the 26th on Monday, you can see there it was just 4 red trade days, and it was all downhill. Nothing could have happened. So we started out losing 16, then 11, and this one was the big one, of course. We went in with 170 shares at 671, and we sold out at 578, 579. And revenge trading, we went into OPTT, and we bought 1,240 shares. We made it worse, buying it at 69, then selling at 67 and 63. And that could have been better, but wow. Yeah, just incredible. So, bad day. So for the month, and I had already updated Thursday and Fridays here, but you can see the P&L. It was probably higher than 444 on that Monday. And yeah, we wound up this January 26, same as we did January 2025. And for February, that has got to stop. And we got on pretty early, around 4 a.m. I've cut out some of the video of the stocks I was looking from 4 a.m. I actually got online at 3:55 a.m. And remember, I'm on the Pacific Coast time. And we're looking at BNAI. And we jumped in just with 2 shares, just to have a good gauge. And of course, we were hoping that this would go to 72. That was my thought at the beginning. We were right above BWAP, and I thought, goes up here, goes back up over BWAP, and it'll probably hold to 72. Even if it doesn't, it'll fall back below VWAP. We'll continue to hold because we're in a good place there at 66. And then, oh, here I am looking at the wrong bar. The green buy bar is above the VWAP. Oh, I'm an idiot. But anyway, so that morning I was feeling sick. I wasn't feeling it, and yet I'm sitting here at the computer and trading at this darn thing. And so I thought with 2 shares, it'll go up to 72, and we'll get a piece of the pie. And we were green up here. I should have taken the $9. I should have taken whatever I got here. But my mentality was that I wanted it to go to 72. And when I was putting together that slide regarding your mental and physical state, something that came to my mind was the fact that if you don't get a good night's sleep, you are going to be about 30% impaired mentally. So, yeah, and that's according to an AI too. Cognitive function drops 30% after a poor night. So you have to get at least 6 to 7 hours of quality sleep. And I think that night I only had 4, maybe even 2. Because I woke up at 2 a.m., went to my living room and just sat there and, wallowed in social media until 3:30 and then got on the computer. So by the time I got on, I had already maybe 2.5 hours of sleep that night, which was a bad thing. Now, it's not an excuse. I'm the one who pulled the triggers. So I've included that slide now because that's one of the things that I'm going to do. And after this Monday that I had, and you'll see the trades a little bit later on, losing $252 was a shock. And I said, that can't happen. I got to get healthy before I can trade. And so I didn't trade for 2 days. I didn't trade Monday I didn't trade Tuesday or Wednesday. Because of that, I said, no, that's it. I want to recover. And then once my mind has some type of sanity, then I'll go back. And that's how I went back Thursday and Friday. And you'll see those. I'll put those videos out shortly. They're going to be pretty short. Nothing sweet. They were just trying to get me back. And here we are, February 1st. And finally getting to these recaps. I haven't had the time to do it because I've been resting. I've just been looking out for myself so that I can have a good set of mind. So, yeah, so it's 4:28 Pacific here now, and we're still holding this darn thing. And we saw it go up once above our buy line, and it gets close here. We could have gotten out of here. We should have gotten out of here. But we didn't. We kept holding for 672. And the market just wasn't going to have it. So I forwarded this an hour later. You see how long I held this. And it is just sitting right there on the VWAP line, which means it's not going to go anywhere. Volume starts to drop down, and it's just not going to move. But now, look at that, 2 shares, and now we're down $16. And it continues like this until I sell it. So, some pretty bad choices. Clouded choices, but like I said, they're not an excuse. I'm still the person who pulled the trigger, or the stubborn gorilla who pulled the trigger. And we have to live with it. So today, Saturday. Well, yesterday was Saturday. So yesterday, I spent a few hours checking out other YouTubers, and it looks like I wasn't the only one that had a bad January. So, and I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm just amazed that we're all in it together, and we're all in this thing having bad days. And I think that of the videos that I saw, most of the folks, some of the folks out there have a little bit more money than I do in the account. And we're looking for larger paydays. Or we're thinking that that somehow we've gained this insight into what we know, what we're doing, and that we're experts. And I think that the approach every day that you get to the market, it can't be certainty. It has to be doubt. And not doubt in yourself, but doubt in what you're going to get out of the market. I mean, think about it. It's a dice roll. So we may not think of it as gambling, but in a way it is. And it takes a very different sort of person to stick with it. So now it's 6:17 a.m. and you see there we went back in for more. We bought 2 shares at 58.19, thinking that that was going to be the pickup, and then we're letting it go here. Oh no, we sold. That was the sell of the first one. So we went back in. We thought, oh, 57 is looks like a more of a supported roll, and so maybe we'll get something out of here. But instead, we were losing. So let's talk about mental and physical cognitive health, because I think that's truly important. So having a pre-flight that aligns your mind and your body so that you can be ready for market performance it's important. You may think of it as a biological readiness to ensure that you're not risking your capital just for the sake of it, but that you are going to trade with a clear mind and based on your strategies, create a standard of trading that is going to yield some sharp execution of in the trades that you take. Um, so, and I hadn't thought about this, but we can compare it to sports, right? So athletes, they have a special intellectual ability that is, as you can say, in their muscles, in their ability to exhaust physical stress, absorb that physical stress, and go beyond what us typical humans sitting on the couch watching TV would do, and they're able to do a lot more. And if you're going to trade, then when we sit here at the computer or we stand or whatever we're doing, but when we're trading, we have to think of ourselves in that frame of mind. We have to think that we're market athletes in a sense, and we have to prepare. We have to prepare our minds and our body. Otherwise, uh, we won't be able to take advantage. And anything that we do, looking for indicators, looking for scanners, looking for help from others, trying to catch the breakouts before they start, trying to catch those stocks that are moving up the momentum. Everything, all of that tactical information is not going to do us any good if our emotions, our mental and our physical state isn't ready. Whether it's we could be malfunctioning and we don't even see that, right? It could be due to stress, bad sleep, a negative mood. It could be your thoughts are somewhere else, and and that's understandable. But I think that one thing I've come to realize is that I don't have to take trades every single day. I think that my new approach is going to be to um, stand at the ready and look for that opportunity that is going to be a positive green day. But if it's not there, there's no sense in taking trades. And I've spoken to that before, and I haven't been able to master that yet. And I consider myself a very highly disciplined individual. I used to smoke when I was younger, and I tried many different ways of quitting the gums, the chewable gums, the patches. I had some prescribed medicine. None of that worked. And then one day I did it cold turkey, and 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 that was years and years ago. And I was amazed that I had the discipline, and I had the discipline in me to do it and quit smoking cold turkey without any aids. But I hadn't concentrated on doing it. I think the same thing is in the market. Uh, in playing the stock market, I haven't done enough to bring out that determination, that confidence to overpower my emotions, so that I know exactly, so I don't make mistakes, and it's quite difficult. But so we all have to do that. That's I think that's the most difficult part. Putting up the money is okay. Setting up the software, setting up the broker, trading on the simulator, all of that works fine until you get to the real trades and you start trading and it becomes for real and it's real money, and then it becomes difficult. So uh, we have to unlock a mechanism that removes our emotions from trading, and sort of a gate lock, if you will. And it's got to be mental, and it's got to be in front of the screen, and we have to sit here and we have to address it and tell ourselves, check ourselves, are we ready to trade? And only then do we proceed with observing the market. And it's all interesting that everything is, I have the software, I have the little bit of money, I have, I think, gathered good knowledge, but what I don't have is that discipline to stick with the tactical and the technical, which is quite interesting. It's the FOMO. So that's where we come into the an operator pre-flight, right? You got to check your mind. Are you objective or desperate? Check your heart. Are you neutral? Are you reactive? And your body. Are you regulated, tense? Are you hydrated? Is your cognitive presence acceptable? Can you focus with no external noise or external uh, difficulties or distractions? And then make sure you are detached from anything outside in your life, so that when you sit, you you concentrate on what you've seen before, and in your body. Make sure you're breathing, your eyes are sharp, and your posture is upright. Make sure you are relaxed and alert. And one of the things that I find interesting is that I know these things, but I haven't applied them. And I did some of them. I have signs around my computer and big red lettering that read, remember the 6 to 18 Fibonacci. There's no holding, yet I still do it, and no chasing. But it is quite difficult. So we're finally done now with BNAI. We got out of that, and the BATL is was moving up. NAM was also moving, but we didn't trade any of it. I don't know that we could have traded. I think I did try, and maybe I couldn't buy any. So one of those other stocks that are tradable on Thinkorswim, at least for that one particular week. And I did see that some folks are mentioning that you can call them and tell them that you want to trade those risky stocks. And I thought about doing it, but you know what? When the stock market gets hot, the Chinese stocks are going to be very rare, and there's no point. Though I did see a stock overnight go from $5 to over 100, but I think it was in the Hong Kong market or the Chinese market. I didn't see which one exactly. And but now it's back down to 57. So I think foreign markets, I'm sure are probably okay, but I don't know. So I think I'm fine with Thinkorswim not letting us trade those stocks, and we'll see what happens. See what the trend is for 2026. We're only 1 month in, so if by summer, all we're seeing is foreign stocks one after another every week, then that might be something to consider, but not right now. So we continue to watch BATL. Excuse me. Gotta hydrate. And here it's looking good. I mean, it's above BWAP. It hasn't hit the upper band of BWAP yet. And this pattern looks good. It is higher price though. And I think that's the another thing that had me hesitant on trading stocks. I didn't want to trade anything over $5 because I thought you really can't make a whole lot of money. Otherwise, I may have taken a trade there. But instead, I'm sitting here watching it and letting it go. And it's right before the open, 629, and this looks like it's going to go. And I failed to take it. The other thing, of course, I was thinking, I remember I said that I don't want to trade at the open. And I think I need to change that thought of mine because it's been a couple of days that there were two stocks, I think, that 2-3 minutes before the open started to go up and they eventually went up. And what I was afraid of this one was that it would pull back nastily. So that's what I thought. I'd go up there and buy a 630 and then it falls. But I think it went back up again. But here the MACDs are curling, they're pointing downwards. And it does recover, but for lack of faith and lack of anything else trading, I think BATL was only one of the ones that were available. So yeah, so in essence, and there you go, see, there it goes up, and I buy it at 671. It was a good fill, and I should have sold right here. It went up to $20, and this is what I mean. I wasn't ready. Other days I've been ready, and I see it, and I hit the button, and I'm out. And this time, I'm sitting here like a dummy waiting for it and just watch that huge drop. And then I turn it into a bag by just holding it. I mean, really idiotic. And this is nothing other than FOMO. And our thought that one stock is going to replay what another stock did in the days prior. And I don't think that's happening. So the lesson well, what I've instituted in my thoughts of exits is that If I take a trade, I'm not going to wait for a huge volume win. I'm going to take 2-3 cents. Moves up and I'm taking it. And I'm selling out quickly. And folks are going to tell me, well, you're not holding them long enough. You could make more money if you held them longer. Yeah. I could lose a lot more if I hold them longer too, which is the case. My problem is on the red days, I bought high. I get caught in a bag holding and I hold it. And it's not a problem endemic to just me alone. Every trader has it. I'm sure you guys watching have gone through it and are struggling with the exact same thing. So we got to try to figure out what is the best way. And I've been professing over the last 2 weeks, no trade days, no trade days. And I'm really thinking that that's the answer. The answer to make more money is not to trade more, but to trade less and trade with quality. If we can trade with quality, then quantity won't matter because we will have less red days. And I think that's part of the answer. Somewhere in there is the answer. Can we stick to that? That's a whole different other question. Yeah, so I finally gave up here. But of course now 157 plus another, what, 30, I'm 180 down or so. And it was just crazy. And to this day, I won't tell you that I'll remember what it did, whether it went back up or not. I don't think it did. But it was a pretty disgusting day. And I didn't get depressed. I just felt upset at my own self that I didn't recognize that I wasn't mentally geared to be there. And so at that exact moment, what I felt was anger, perhaps a little bit of anger and disgust. And I'm saying, well, I'm going to go get it somewhere. And here comes the revenge trading. And it doesn't matter what it is. I'm just going to take whatever's left in settled cash, trade it all in, and hope for the best. So along comes OPTT, and I think I've traded this in the past before and had a good opportunity with it, except that it's already made a huge move. It's way past the upper band of VWAP. It's excessive, but I still take 1,000 shares. I had about $800 left, so I take 1,000 shares at 69 cents. And of course, we know what's going to happen, right? It's exhausted. And I've marked 2 lines of support up there in yellow, which I'm thinking is the next channel that it's going to hit and move up in there. But OPTT did not have news, and obviously it was a play on probably by shorts and getting folks in. And I should have realized here that it had no opportunity to move as high as I thought. And I should have sold it out, and I did think about selling it. I said, okay, let me take my money and not make it worse than it already is. But it was revenge trading. I said, no, it'll go, it'll hit $1. And then I'll be sorry and I'll be crying that I could have made more money. But the numbers are there. You can see at 6703, 137,000, 140,000 now sellers, shares being sold. And so it was being held. And I thought I knew better. And so I moved the chart around, and that's a play on my mind trying to say, oh yeah, we're looking at, the 5 minute has a couple of green bars there on the awesome oscillator, but it was obvious that it was done here, and I still keep holding and hoping, and this is on hope. And I don't like the word hope. I like the word results. And results are what you have control over and what you can do. Put one step in front of the other, move forward, and use a solution that resolves the issues that you have, the problems that are in front of you. Not with hope. I don't believe in hope. Sorry. Those are phantom words that are playing our mind and that confuse our mind. So, interesting thing is going to happen here. It's still going to pick up. It is going to move up, back up again, and it's even going to cross my my 69-cent buy, and I still don't sell it. How idiotic is that? Well, we watch it. I'll let you guys know that today, yesterday, on Saturday, I spent the whole day revamping my screens and the position of charts and everything. So uh, come next week, I'm gonna have a whole new looking screen, and I finally got rid of the that ticker on the bottom, which bugs the hell out of me. It's just very distracting. So hopefully the new layout is going to make a little bit more sense. And one of the things that I'm looking at is I have this chart, right, and I have the three bottom indicators down there, and that I look at. But I also have two other charts that have different indicators and that I like and that I use for confirmation. And but it's a little bit problematic switching between one and the other because I can't have them across. I can't have six monitors and have each chart on a monitor. So I've reworked it to the point where they will all fit, and you'll be able to see what I'm seeing. I'm removing the active trader window from display, but there'll still be level 2 time and sales, and I'll have a couple of scanners, at least one scanner there, along with my P&L and the market watch list. So hopefully that'll be a little bit better for folks who are looking at what I'm doing. So yeah, so here I think, you know what, I bought too high. Maybe I should have bought right here at 65 cents. And so I purchased 240. And in the true sense, that is what I should have done. I should have waited it for the pullback, bought here, and I would have made more money, I think, even if it would have been 2 cents, 2.5 cents. Because it does go up. So I bought 200 shares there at 67. Had I bought 1,200 shares at 67, and and it moves fractions. Yeah. So right here would have been perfect. Would have been a penny on 1,200 shares would have been $12, but it still would have been something. So the big quantity of sellers has moved away, and we're now back, and we're flirting with 69 and 70 cents again with the higher day. But there's a lot of resistance, and I should have seen it, and I didn't. So right there would have been the sell. Look at that, 69. But anyway, so what happens is the red spike down. And now I didn't hold this back. Obviously, I got disgusted when it jackknives, and I just sold and got out of it. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. I hope you all had a better day. Look at this, see? 11, 10, 13 bucks. I should have sold there. It hit 70. Had a better week than I did, a better January. If not, let's look forward to February, but it looks like February is going to be a bad day. Look at this. Oh, there was 16, 17, 23, 20. So imagine it did hit 70 from 67, 3 cents would have been 30 bucks. Oh well. Stubborn gorilla. And there's the jackknife. And then by that time, it's way too late. There's no recovery from here. So, red bag, bad day. Move on to the next trading days. Gorilla out.